Hello, beautiful. Welcome to this week's show. Hello, everybody. We are a group of psychics and spiritual mediums coming together to help everyone awaken, align with their higher selves and soul's purpose while lifting up humanity. Welcome, everyone. Today we have a special guest with us. Let's welcome Diana Dolce. She's the author. Hi, Diana. Welcome. Diana is the author of How to Awaken the Power Within You. She's holding that up for us to see. Diana is a hydration specialist, a holistic practitioner, and a holistic psychologist. Today, she's going to educate us on using water fasting and that as a means to open up our intuition and spiritual connection. So some of us, I'm sure, have done water fasting before. I personally have not, so I'm very interested in all that Diana has to say. So I want to turn it over to you, Diana, if there's anything you want to add.
Okay, so hi, everyone. And it's a pleasure to be here. This is actually my first time on a talk show, so I'm grateful to be here. And I'm just going to allow the words to just flow through me. So I'll just tell you a little bit of my story of how I got to where I am now today. So at 9 years old, I was suffering from severe asthma, and I was grasping for my next breath. And I remember just praying to God, saying, please help me. And I remember at that moment, and I told him, help me and I will help you. So at 9 years old, I knew there was something outside me. So universe, God, creator. I just knew there was something more than just me. So that was my awakening to the divine. And I slept good that night. And I don't know what happened, but I slept good that night. I mean, I was grasping for my last breath. So, and I just remember it like it was yesterday. So, going on, I was just a regular teenager, not knowing anything, working, doing my best. I was like an entrepreneur. I started selling candles and stuff at the age of 12. And at 16, I started working at a hospital, delivering food. And at that time, at around 16, I started fasting. So I used to fast, and I had severe asthma. So my asthma went away. I didn't know at that time why, that was, but my asthma went away. So I thought, wow, there must be something I'm doing. And I just continued just living life. I just thought, okay, I outgrew it. And then at during life, I had my 3 children. So I'm married almost 36 years, and I have 3 children. And when they were young, I used to be like, my life was to the school. I was on the PTA. I was on the leadership team, doing the birthday board and reading volunteers and just helping out all the children. Because to me, the children were, so important to me. They're God's gifts. And I just love the children. And I used to help them get library cards. So it's funny that I got to write a book, but I was very into reading. I mean, I wasn't into reading then, but now I know the importance of reading. I think readers are leaders. So it's important to read. So, so later on, I was dedicating my life to the PTA, class mom, and all that. And then when that stopped, my body just, I felt like empty. I didn't know, what my life was for. I didn't know. That was around the age of 37. And I developed 4th stage spondylitis, the lower back, the spine. So I used to get out of bed like a 90-year-old woman. And I was like, Lord, I don't want to be like this for the rest of my life. I went to the doctors, and the orthopedic said, listen, you have to get a pin in your back. Otherwise, you're going to end up in a wheelchair. And that's when a spirit within me just like rose out and told me, no, you're going to heal on your own. And I was like, okay. So not listening to the doctor, because the doctor said, don't go to the gym, don't, rest. But my spirit within me said, get yourself to the gym, get your core strong, start exercising. And I started doing all that. And within a year, my body built a bridge. So again, what was it that did that? What power within me healed myself? And that was of the norm, not of the norm. So then I went into studying about holistic health, becoming a holistic health practitioner, and finding out how to keep the body alkaline, and, fruits, vegetables. And so I started on that journey and try to educate people that they could heal. And everybody's thinking that I'm crazy, but that's okay. I know it's the truth. So then later on, I ended up finding out about ionized alkaline water. So I drank Kangen water. So I feel this water is high vibrational. It's the next best thing to the water that God put on this earth, from the mountains, and, that's fresh.
So what is it, mountain water?
Energized. It's supposed to be energized, the water. It's not supposed to be dead water in our water bottles. It's not supposed to be like that. So I feel like Kangen means back to the origin. So Kangen, the Japanese were able to simulate something, I call it God's living water. So I simulate water, from the divine. And I was like, wow. So I discovered this in 2011. I was like, oh, everybody needs one of these. And then again, people start thinking, you're crazy, but they don't understand the power of the energy in our bodies. We are energy. And, when I was young, someone said, you're the goddess of love. I don't know if I heard it in a dream or if somebody said it. And I always love to portray love, because that's universal. That's the highest frequency on the planet, love. And love is living one vibrational energy. And it's funny because I wrote that in my book, and I wrote my book in 2017, not really understanding what that was. And I was divinely guided to write the book in 2017. And I was like, not me. I didn't even like to write a chapter for my thesis or anything in my studies. So that was not of my character. So when the book came out in 6 weeks, and it's called How to Awaken the Power Within You, I was like, wow. And it's purple because that's high alkalinity, and it's also healing, the healing vibration. And you have purple on, purple. Wow. So yes, it's a high vibration.
Where can you find your book at?
Oh, Amazon. Okay. Yes, maybe we could get the link on later, but How to Awaken the Power Within You, because we are, like God or Allah or anyone you want, universe, it's the master creator of the planet. So I tend to call Lord. So it's Lord, the landlord. So we could call it the Lord of the planet. And I was guided to awaken people to that connection to, that spirit within us, because we are all spirit. We're energy. And I just finished my bachelor's in metaphysics. So it's funny, metaphysics is energy. And I'm going towards my doctrine. I want to be a metaphysician. So it's all connected to energy and how we're all actually one, living one vibrational energy. And that's love. And that's the vibration we need to vibrate at, because when you stay at that vibration, everything that you want starts to become, you become a magnet of that. So we are all like magnets. Now, if we focus on, there's two entities, there's the love and the fear. So the planet right now is a lot in fear, and us love workers, light workers need to bring up that vibration of love. And, there is no separation. Religion tends to separate us. And if we could just join forces as one, living one vibrational energy, we could help this planet. and not think this one's better than that one, judging this one, judging that one. I mean, I had a stigmatism of psychics and card reading because when I was at 19, my girlfriend read my cards and said that I was going to inherit a lot of money that summer. And I was like, oh my God, no, that means somebody's going to die. I was praying all summer and I was like, no. And I said, no, and thank God nobody died. I didn't inherit a lot of money. And I was just so happy. And I was like, I'll never get into cards again and readings and none of that. So I had a stigmatism. So that's why I'm saying people have different stigmatism because of what happened to them. So I know now that, psychics, we're all psychics. We're all psychics, and we all have the ability to get that message from the Lord to what we need to do individually. We are all gifted. And that's where fasting comes in, because fasting is like getting closer to the divine and finding out what our purpose is, what clarity we need to have to live the life that we are created for. We are all here to help create like a heaven on earth, and take what we've learned from generations, our past generations, take what we love, and then what we didn't like, don't take it with us. Try to cancel that and try to be the best version of that. When I was young, my parents never spoke about love. So, I would look for love in all the wrong places, right? But love is within us. It's not inside of us. It's within us. And we are from love. Love is God or creator. Love is universe. Universe is love. And we are all part of that. And fasting, all the religions actually have fasting in it. I looked up Buddha. Buddha fasted for 49 days. Jesus fasted for 40 days. Moses fasted for 40 days. In the Muslims, they fast the 9th month, Ramadan, and they fast from sunrise to sunset, because it brings up their higher power, their higher self. So fasting is so crucial just to get your vibration up. And I never knew that. Me personally, I used to fast just to lose weight, detox the body, cleanse the organs. So I knew about that. I would say God did a joke on me. During COVID, I was always around 152 pounds. My husband said, something's wrong with the scale. And I happened to get on it, and I was 172 pounds. Now, for me, I was like, oh my goodness, I was never that. So I feel like God did my angels and God did a joke on me. I was like, what? So that was just to get me to fast for 8 days. I fasted. I lost about 10 pounds. And then I was like praying to just get on a healthier regimen. And I started trampolining, and more people were attracted to me of what I needed to get to. Now, my goal weight is 135. I'm about 8 pounds away from that. So I'm excited about that. So in 1 year, I accomplished a lot. And I know what my purpose now is. Like, I got introduced to 100X, it's Kingdom Entrepreneurs. And I got introduced to William to help me to really connect to my spirit within, and Jenny and Christy, and it's just that it's not by chance that we go through our journey, right? It's like we're going through a journey, and just embrace it. We all go through storms. We all go through the storms, but the key is to have that faith and knowing that you're going to get through it fine. And just to allow the testing to become a blessing. Always expect the rainbow at the end. It's like, why am I going through this? And sometimes you don't know. You don't know why you're going through it. It's just things that we have to go through. And when you fast, it's like you're being humble and obedient to the Lord of our universe. So it's like you're giving up something for something. So you might get leaner on the outside, but you will become more fulfilled on the inside. And that's why fasting is so important. And, people fast to like, if you have challenges, if you're having financial difficulties, or if you have a problem child, or if your marriage is not working out, or if you're not even attracting a good relationship, fast.
So you're talking about fasting, but what is it? Like, what is actually fasting?
So you're giving up food, or, if you can't give up food, you could give up what you love, like think certain things, give up the internet, give up. But fasting, God looks at fasting as, you're giving up food. Food is like it really wakes up the energy that you're humble. You're humbling yourself. So it's like it's a give and take. So I am giving up my food. If you give me this, but not expecting it, you have to go there very specific on what you would love. When you're fasting,
I'm still confused though.
Very specific.
So you're talking about food. So food, does that mean it has like the physical food? I'm assuming you can have water. You have to have water.
Yes,
right? A lot of
water.
Crying here,
Yes.
right?
Water. And
So,
yeah, water is a very high vibration. So you need the water to also become a magnet to knowing. If you don't water is a very high vibration. It allows, it's the conduit. It's the conduit for the soul. So water is the conduit. It's energy. It's the energy. Water is the biggest energy conductor. So if you're not drinking enough water, again, you're not attracting what you need. So it is very important to drink enough water. Drink half your body weight in ounces in water. And fruits and vegetables have water in them. So you could eat them too, but drinking at least half your body weight in ounces in water to keep that vibration up. We only age because we're getting dehydrated. As we get older, we get dehydrated and our organs shrink, our face shrivels. That is from dehydration. You want to stay young? Fountain of youth, water. Just keep drinking lots of water. It'll hydrate the skin, and pump it up.
So you're talking about getting water in the system, and you talked about the weight, the ratio. So when you say weight, are you talking about you measure yourself in ounces, or you measure yourself and then you're saying you convert that?
So say if you weigh 150 pounds, minimal is 75. But honestly, you use about 80 ounces of water a day just for breathing, walking, you perspiring. So you use about that much a day anyway.
Okay, so you're using pounds and not kilograms. So a lot of people, we have
kilograms. So I don't know how that would work. Yeah, I'm from the US.
So you convert it to pounds and then take half of that, and that's your
I don't know what the equivalent is with pounds and ounces, but if
it's roughly 2 to 1. So
okay, there you go. Thank you.
It's 2.2 pounds per kilogram.
Okay, so I guess you could figure it out that way, but knowing that drinking half your body weight will keep you going. But if you have an ailment, or if you're trying to overcome any kind of dis-ease in the body, I call it dis-ease because it's your body not at ease. So dis-ease, you need about 1 ounce per pound, or kilograms, whatever you need to figure it out. But 1 ounce per pound is so that your body starts to heal itself. So water is so crucial. It really is. People don't give it enough praise, because water is so important. I mean, we are made out of water, 80% water. So if we're not getting the right water, a lot of things are not going to function properly. I would turn to water as one of the first things if you're not feeling right. drink
So
water.
how does this differ from juicing?
So juicing,
A juice fast.
juicing is the vegetables, right? So
Fruits,
it
vegetables,
has
right.
high energy. That's like one of the highest energy. But when you're giving up everything and you're not having any fruits and vegetables, you're even at a higher vibration. It's like you become one with the higher spirit. So you become closer, even closer. But the Lord sees that you're giving up something. So just for people to just start, I would do intermittent fasting. So that means just have an 8-hour window of eating instead of eating throughout the whole day and snacks at night. Just try to cut it down, 8-hour window, and things will start shifting in your body. And while you're fasting, do some praying and meditating. See, praying is speaking out what you would love. And when you meditate, Spirit speaks to you of what you need.
So what are you praying for?
What do I pray for? I pray for me and my family to be a mirror image of the Lord with great health, happiness, prosperity, love, joy, peace, wisdom, truth, trust, forgiveness, gratitude, patience, self-control, confidence, and courage. This is what I pray for. So I want me and my family to be that. And I would love for us to radiate that to the world. It's, we're here not just for ourselves. We're here to be the love and the light for the world so that they could shine bright. And that's our purpose. Like I said, we need to get rid of fear. Now, fear is another entity. Fear is worry, doubt, fear, anger, frustration, jealousy, pain, suffering, anxiety.
Hey, stop.
No
No more bad words. That's too bad.
No. That's the fear. That's the fear entity. I'm telling you, there's two entities. That side, and then the love. The love is the joy and the peace and the wisdom, the truth, the trust, forgiveness. That's all on the love side. And we are here as love and light workers. So we need to focus on that and not allow, like I had a huge fear of going live. And as you could see, I am speaking and I'm allowing God to speak through me because I have a lot of notes and I was nervous, but I'm letting it flow through.
Yeah.
And
Well, we have questions too.
We have a question from Karen.
Okay.
So she's saying hunger pains make it very challenging. And do you have any secrets to avoid this?
Hunger pains. Okay. So, well, you take deep breaths. Try to feel when you're having hunger pains, take a deep breath. And it's important how we breathe because people do not breathe properly. They tend to shallow breathe into your collarbone. And that's actually what causes anxiety and depression because anxiety, because the heart is not getting the oxygen. So when we deep breathe into your bellies. Breathe deep into your belly. And when you breathe, you're not bringing your belly in. You're bringing it out. So you're expanding. If you look at a baby when they breathe in and their bellies expand. And when you exhale, you're blowing out what you don't need. Blow it out. Contract. And when you contract, bring in the kundalini. Tighten that area, that belly button area. Inhale, expand. Exhale, blow it out. Tighten that belly button to the spine. When you do that, you're going to get rid of all that other stuff. And if you practice that a couple of times a day, I believe that those hunger pangs will go away. Try to do something else that is not going to allow you to have those thoughts, or drink water, or maybe go for a walk outside. When you're walking, you alleviate a lot of stuff inside you. Get connected to nature because nature is a very high vibration. and they say hug a tree. So the earth vibrates at 528 hertz. So we are part of that. So you could even put it on YouTube, 528 hertz. It's vibration of the planet. And that will ease your soul also if people are, staticky. So the key
going
is
back to water, the temperature of water. I know cold water will stop the digestion in the body. So when you're drinking water throughout the day, is this ice water that you're drinking? Is it room temperature? What temperature is water should you be drinking then?
That's a good
room
question, Con.
temperature. Yes, room temperature is definitely suggested. And ice, actually, it's not good for the digestion. Correct.
But it stops the digestion. So in this case, she says that she gets hunger pains. Is it better to have cold water compared to room temperature?
Well, in answering that, since we're not eating and we're just drinking, if you prefer to have the ice water, I would say go for it. Go for that. If that's going to help, that little chill is going to get rid of that hunger pang. Yes, definitely drink cold water. As long as you're drinking, just drink it. Let's take a sip right now.
We have a couple more questions, actually. Jade is saying, I've done water fasting before. Would love to get details on the water fasting that you have found helpful. So I think we're kind of helping to explain that. But one of my questions was, is there any, well, first of all, how long do you typically do it for? Or is there a length of time that you recommend?
Well, for beginners, like I said, I would start intermittent fasting, just the small window. So I wanted to devise a group of people to fast for the planet for love. I wanted to create fasting for love. This came to me because I was always all about love, and I always wanted to create unity. And it's just funny how God brought this to me. It was just like, wow, your love and fasting, and it just literally came to me recently. I was like, wow, we put it together. And it could help everyone unite for the planet to stay in a high vibration of love. Like I said, there's two entities. You want to stay at that high love vibration, because when we all stay there, everything starts to flow there, because we are magnets of energy. So whatever we're putting our thoughts and words on, that's why it's very important. Be careful the words we're speaking. Never say a negative word after I am. Never. That's like saying God is, or Allah is, or universe is. It's like saying they're negative. They're not. They are love. And that's why we can never put a negative after I am. So it's a learned way of being, but it is worth living that way. Just staying in that vibration. And when you hear yourself speaking and you're saying a negative word, even about yourself, many of us speak about ourselves negatively, not even about others, but just ourselves. If we listen to ourselves all day long, talking to ourselves, how many times do you actually say negative things about yourself? To this, to that, da, 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 da. We have to change that. So if everybody just worked on themselves, oh my goodness, this planet would be amazing.
So Diana, getting back to actually what intermittent fasting is. So you're saying do intermittent fasting, but
okay,
how do you do it?
So choose a time. So when I do intermittent fasting, I'll eat from 12 to 8 o'clock. That'll be my window to eat. So when I don't fast, I do intermittent fasting. So I have a window to eat. So somebody that gets up early, they might have a different window. They might eat from 9 to 5 or something like that.
Okay, and when you're not eating, you're just water. Doing water? And I seen a question where someone asked if you put lemon in the water.
Yes.
Is that okay, or you're supposed to do water?
No, lemon in the water is definitely, that's like God's living water too. That lemon is a high vibration. People think that lemon is acidic. it's not. It actually turns into an alkaline after you drink it. So it's very, it has a lot of health benefits, lemon. So
okay, I had heard several fasting before that says strictly water, nothing in the water.
I put lemon in my, I'll have lemon. And sometimes even essential oils. I could put a couple of drops on my tongue because, again, essential oils, those are biblical. They are from centuries, the oils. And you can put a couple on your tongue. Frankincense works great. Lemon, just to stay at a high vibration. The key is to stay high vibration so that you could be at that level of attracting God's words, Allah's words, or universe words. Just when you keep yourself at that high vibration, things happen and shift for you that you wouldn't believe. And that's why fasting is so important. They say what you can't do in the natural, fasting will help you with that. Like fasting is like getting a whole army of people to pay attention to you. The army is your angel guides, your spirits, the universe. They all start to pay attention to you when you're fasting. Why?
I don't
know. I don't know. This is just, I checked all the different religions, like Buddha, 49 days. Why did he do that? To become more happy and righteous. The Muslims, they have the 9th month. They actually fast from sunrise to sunset because they want to become more righteous, more connected. The Christians, they fast. Christians actually, they don't have a set time to fast, but they should be fasting a lot more.
No, they do. That's what Lent is all about.
Oh, well,
Lent is
but
part of that.
Lent,
it's a similar sort of context.
Similar.
I think there's some panelists that have some questions for you.
Let's ask questions.
I wanted to just say real quick, going back to, we were talking about like things you can add to your water. I used to be a weight loss counselor, and we would put people on like some kind of a detox thing. And part of that was that like drinking water for a couple of days in that period. And we would tell them to add lemon to their water. And we would also add honey to their water to help with their low blood sugar, because that could give them like headaches and stuff. So I was just going to add that in.
Raw honey I would use raw honey, not just the honey in the food store. There's a huge difference. So raw honey, I'll have that as if I need something sweet, not when I'm fasting though. But if somebody is diabetic, yes, have raw honey just to keep your sugar stable. That's a great suggestion. But if you can see, when you fast, you actually help the body come into balance, that you're going to notice that the more you fast, you might not need those meds. Not that I'm telling you to get off them, but as you fast, you might have to go to the doctors more often to regulate where your body's at, because when you start fasting, you start detoxing and getting the impurities out of you. And it's like your body starts to function better. And I noticed that even drinking ionized alkaline water, you start to clean the organs. It's like giving the organs a shower. So a lot of dis-ease is because, just picture if the garbage men didn't come and collect our garbage outside. You get accumulated stuff on our organs. And that's why we need to detox. And water is one of the best things to flush out. And then it's one of the conduits to get closer to God. And that's why it's like God's living water. Like I said, from the mountains is the highest vibration. But Kangen water, I feel like it's the second best water on the planet. And that's why I believe in it. And
so I know
what other questions are there?
Well, I know I guess, Doc, you can kind of comment on this as well. But when you think about the conductivity within the body, that we are electrical beings and we are energy, so that water is, like you said, it's a conduit. How it does make your body more conductive. Now, when I did juice fasting, so I did juice fasting for 6 days, and that was very satisfying. I only had juice during that time, but it was enough to to feed my system. And then my body told me when it was time to get off.
Okay.
And I felt that was kind of my early opening and awakening to all this. That it just opened me right up. And now this past week, I've been doing juice and more lemon water. So my typical diet during the day is, first thing in the morning, I'll have a big glass of water or lemon water and have that down. And then I'll have juice and then I'll have juice.
Well, you break it up. I'm not hearing you properly. I know you said you were having juice, lemon water.
Yeah, so water, lemon water in the morning, and then I'll have juice. And then when I get to dinner time, that's when I would have typically a meal. So that's my intermittent fasting. But since even just adding lemon water, the connectivity within the body's opened me up quite a bit. So I can understand that the spiritual aspect, because we are electrical beings. So I can see that opening us up. Doc, have you noticed anything would you have a comment on that? Or on the doctor side?
I think it's very telling that some people find lemon or some other sort of additive like apple cider vinegar useful, because we don't just need the water itself, we need electrolytes. So those of you who've been on William's course will know he suggests putting a little bit of salt in, rock salt in. So just having water alone is fine, but you do need some electrolytes, which is why if you think of the original Gatorade and why all these runners have additional electrolytes. And so this is entirely fine, because it enabled one of the things which William always was describing was by trying to connect with whatever it is, or all that is, we are essentially massive batteries with lots of electrical currents going around us. And so having electrolytes is a big, big factor. One of the things I'd just like to mention, I mean, I've sort of stumbled and meandered into eating one meal a day, was the hunger goes actually if you eat fairly nutritionally dense food with little carbohydrates. So when you have carbs, your insulin surges and the sugar drops again and you feel hungry. So trying to experiment with different types of food, and I have mainly raw food with nuts occasionally, that does it for me, and I don't feel hungry, because I used to be terrible for snacking at 10 o'clock at night and first thing in the morning and then everything in between. So I guess by trial and error you can find the equilibrium within yourself as to what works for you. So everyone has their own biochemistry, everyone has their own metabolism, and whatever works for you is what matters. And the wonderful thing is just trying it out and seeing what works.
Awesome. Thanks, Doc. Does any of the other panelists have a question? What about you, Jenny? You have any questions?
Well, I think it was kind of touched upon a little bit. One of the questions that I wanted to bring up was if somebody was diabetic or insulin resistant, how this could affect their body to start fasting with water only. Thank you, Doc.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm type 2 diabetic, and my blood glucose monitoring improved enormously. So I used to have, it dropped down to almost normal levels basically when I shifted to this once meal a day, and I would find that so like early afternoon, mid-afternoon was enough, and I have literally a significantly sized bowl of vegetables and fruit, but it's certain fruit and not things like grapes. It's apples and pears that would do it for me. But the other surprising thing for me was my blood pressure dropped considerably, and I also had greater clarity of channeling. So I mean, everyone has different moments and different days when the clairaudience, clairvoyance, or whatever it is better than others. But I was like channeling continually, literally continually, when I went into this almost vegan, once a day eating sort of regime. So that's me. I mean, everyone's different, and so you have to try and experiment. But it's certainly, I would certainly recommend you monitor your blood glucoses, especially if you're on insulin. You don't want to go hypo, and I don't mean just once every 3 months blood test. You've got to test it regularly with the with the little thumb prick where you have the blood glucose machine. Okay.
Yeah. Should somebody be checking with their doctor first before they do this?
I think it's entirely reasonable, and of course I would say I've got the liberty of living with my own doctor, so I wouldn't bother. But I'm sure for the lay public, yes. It's worth doing so, but I can't emphasize enough having your own blood glucometer machine with you.
Oh, yeah.
Especially when you're trying this out, and especially if you're on meds. And also, before you start doing this, say measure your blood glucose at certain times of the day, it's like morning, midday, before you go to bed. And so you know what your baseline is.
Mm-hmm.
And then try it and then see what happens. So you've got a before and after comparison, and don't just jump into it. And be very careful. And I'm sure you know what the signs of a hypo are. So, you need to just keep an eye out for that. Okay.
Awesome. That was a good question. Yeah, because a lot of people have issues already that they're dealing with, medical issues, a lot of different things too. So cutting out food entirely may cause problems.
So just to reiterate, insulin in particular, it's an absolute, you've got to be really careful. If you're on insulin and you stop eating, you've got to watch it really carefully, okay? And then there's some tablet forms of diabetic treatment where you're more likely to get hypos. You need to check with your pharmacist and your physician just to be sure, and then you're in a better position to know what to look for, okay?
So when we're talking about doing water fasting for opening up the spiritual gifts and connecting, do you only do this for a certain time? Is there a time limit on there, considering people's health issues that are outside of that, and maybe doing intermittent fasting as in between? But how long would you do your own water fasting?
Well, me personally, I wanted to create a group that does fasting once a week. And right now I did fasting Monday through today. So 3 days, just to stay at a high vibration so I could receive. And it depends on what's going on in your life. When you feel like you need some more clarity than other times, I would suggest a fast. I believe fasting is one of the best things for the body, the soul, the mind. And it just, even for people that have a sickness that perhaps the doctors say there is no cure, I don't believe, I believe everything could be healed with the power within. And it's just about when you surrender what's on the physical and you start taking over what's in the spiritual, everything could start to shift. You have to understand, we live physically on this planet, but we live in a metaphysical world. So anything and everything is possible. But the key is we have to just know that. We have to have faith in that and believe that with all our heart. We can't be, maybe we could heal, or maybe this could happen. Maybe my finances will get better. Maybe this child will get better. Maybe this relationship will get better. No, you can't have a maybe. You can't have a static in there. You have to have a knowing. When you have that knowing and you take on that knowing with all your heart and all your strength, and you believe that with all your heart, that whatever you're praying and hoping for will happen. It is a promise. It will happen. It will, if you just believe it. And people are like, yeah, okay. No, I've done this many times in my life, many times. So I am a mirror image of that. What I'm speaking, I am a mirror image of those words because I've seen it.
That's definitely our world. That's definitely our world, is being able to heal our bodies. And Jade is saying that she used water fasting to allow deep healing phases and reset the body from immune disorder. And I know that when I was first going through the MS and degenerative disc disease and the body was shutting down, I really looked quite closely into diet. And luckily my wife is a holistic nutritionist and wrote quite a few books on cookbooks and other information on this. And so I had, much like Doc, you're the doc inside the house, I've got my health nutritionist inside the house taking care of me, and personal chef taking care of me. But diet was a big thing. But once I got my body to a perfect state, and I know my body is perfect, it is so strong right now. The cells are just so rich and strong and alive, and it has all the nutrients that it needs, that now it's moving into, at least for the past even longer than that, it is now healing the body with the mind and the power of the metaphysics.
Yes.
Yeah, and I would like to speak to that point too. Like what you were saying, Diana, I've had that experience of healing my body of something that I had for years. And then I started channeling and I met Archangel Raphael and he told me how to deal with it. He just said, do this. When you go to your doctor, they're going to tell you something. Just tune out the fear, tune out the doubt and whatever your doctor's putting out there, whatever energy she's got, like, oh, I don't know, we might have to get this tested, and tune out. And then just and then forget about it and forget about the what, because I had to get a test and I didn't know what the results were going to be, and it was going to be 2 weeks to find out, and forget about it and don't focus any attention on fear. Focus no attention on fear. I was doing meditations with that too. And I kind of forgot about it, actually. Not really forgot, but kind of did forget. And then I get a phone call and it was like positive news, like just nothing going on, nothing wrong, everything was good. He was like, just wait for it. Just you got to believe, you got to have divine faith. You got to have faith. It was like it was a divine act of faith is what he was calling it. This is a divine act of faith.
Yes.
He was putting me through this like initiation process to really build my faith in, number one, our connection, because I had never channeled before and he was coming in pretty strong for me. And that really built my faith in the angels and everything what was possible. So it is pretty amazing, what you can do yourself with the healing when you, connect to that higher power within and remember that you have the power to do that.
Correct.
Yeah, Jade is saying, yes, I was able to heal when doctors said it was not possible. It is possible for everyone. And that's the stories we keep hearing from people is, we stay on the positive end of things and it turns out positive always.
Yes, I thank the doctors, but it's good to just go in there for the diagnosis. But then the prognosis, you allow your body to just heal. You accept what, but don't accept, like, don't own whatever they tell you. Don't own it. Just take it in and understand it's a testing and expect the blessing. So it's like, okay, this is happening. What do I need to do? And your angel guides, God, anybody will come in. I don't know my different guides, but they will come in, my angels, and they will tell me what I need to do. And, sometimes they don't say it. They'll connect you to somebody. Somebody else will say it. You'll see it on a bumper sticker, or you'll see it on a license plate, what you need to do. You're going to get messages somehow, some way of just confirmation that you're going to get better. And when you stay in that vibration that we come from, love and all is good and we are perfect in every way, you just have a knowing everything's going to be okay. It's like you're giving it up. You're just going through. I just look at my life like I'm on a boat and I'm floating through life. And I might hit a couple of waves here and there, but I'm just going through. And this is what we need to do. We can't allow the friction to upset us or our planet all around us. We have to be that love and light for ourselves, for our families, for the world. We need to be that. We are called to that. We are here for that. And, it's just so important.
Love it.
So Mary has a question around that. She's asking, but can I save my youngest son through prayer and fasting? I've been told many times that he must suffer and struggle to fulfill his path.
Did she try fasting? Because in the norm, maybe he might need to go through that. But when you're fasting, God pays attention, and everybody, all the angels will help if they see that you're there. I know I've helped my kids. Through many things, and continuing. They're always going through stuff. But
so you're fasting for them?
Yeah. I fast for them, and I pray. It's when you pray, you have to be very specific. Specificity is very important while you're praying. So They need to know. No, because really they need to know why you're praying. So I suggest that you really speak it out, what you would want. Don't come from, they own that. Don't come from, he needs to go through that. Because when you put that energy out there, he needs to go through that, you're confirming it. You're actually hurting him. So cancel, delete those thoughts. Start visioning your son how you want him to be. It's like you're faithing it till he makes it there. And that's for all of us. You know, it's not faking it. We're not going to fake it. We're going to faith it. Faith. Faith it till you make it. So you have that faith in believing it's already done. You have to come from, it's already done. Yep. Everything is, you're healed.
And everything. Sorry to interrupt, but I have to share this. She said she just heard a message from George Michael, the singer, and I'm imagining it might have to do with his song, You Got to Have Faith. So, because you said faith, and that's what chimed in my head at that moment. So, yeah, I do believe that. I believe all of that. I think that what Metatron it was kind of showing me while you were talking is there's many different timelines available to us, and we are pulling from the future timelines. We are pulling its manifestation as if we are pulling from the future timeline where it's already been done. It's already happened. So we're just knowing that it's already happened and believing that. And then that's what's drawing that timeline to us, because we do have infinite possibilities of which way things can go and how they can manifest. So yeah, very interesting. So I feel like this conversation for you, Mary, is inspiration for you to believe in that and to trust in that, because you're getting this answer from us. And so, yeah.
Yes, he will be fine. If you believe that with all your heart, we believe it. We believe that he will be perfectly fine. And this is our mission, to help others get their souls at a higher vibration, not stay at a lower density, a higher vibration. Our planet's shifting onto a higher vibration. So we're all shifting, and we need to just enlighten souls to become full of love and light, and just own that. And be
Mary, I'm being reminded too to tell you that when you get a reading from someone, sometimes they're reading like what's in that moment happening in that the field in that moment, like where you're at, where he's at, and the course of direction that it's going to play out. But that doesn't mean you don't have the power to shift that course of action. So I feel Metatron really wanting to stress that with you. Yeah, it's all about what you buy into. So yeah, in that moment, maybe that was where that was perceived to be heading based on whoever gave you that reading, but or where you got that perspective. But it's not necessarily wrong, but it's not the whole truth is multidimensional. So there's just many layers, and when we choose to tap into, that higher power, and we ask the right questions, we get the answers that we need to move us in that direction. So.
Well, and then there's, you have to be careful what psychics you go to or what doctor you go to. Like I said, there is nobody that could tell you what is going to happen in the future, and do not own that. And that is not of goodness to have anybody say that you're going to keep that forever or hold on to any kind of negative vibration. So I would not call that anything of goodness, of godness, of greatness. So, there's all stuff that you should be listening. Protect the portal of your mind. It's very important. They say, protect the portal of your mind, what goes in your ears, because what goes in your ears starts to come physical. So we have to protect what people say to us. Not all good stuff is being said. We need to choose the words properly of what we're speaking out. Only speak out what we want in life. Not what people say could happen, what should happen. No, cancel, delete that. We don't want to own any of that. We are the creators. We come from the master creator. We are here with our angel gods to create. We could change generations through fasting. They say fasting is one of the strongest powers to change generations. I mean, I didn't know all this. This is stuff I was like, whoa, I didn't know fasting did all that. I'm thinking weight loss. No, fasting is huge. That's why just giving up, start small, give up a meal. Just give up a meal.
It's interesting. As you say that, I hear, because the fasting does, open up your channels. It just kind of creates the blockages. It removes all the things that are holding the flow of the body. And as you eliminate and detox the body, because you're not adding into it, you're flushing. So it's just like washing a dirty dish. You're running water on it and you're flushing your system, and that just makes it clean and open and inviting. And that's when people have been done this in the histories, is written in the books, that it has opened people up to establish a higher connection to their intuition, God, source, whatever you want to call it. But it just opens us up and allows it. So that's the message I'm getting in right now. It just opens you right up.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you think, Doc?
Well, I was going to
we need to just be the love and the light.
I'm going to lob a grenade. I'm going to lob a grenade into this discussion. Okay. So the question is, if our children have their own soul journey and they have their own contracts, and these are spiritual beings that are born through us for a part of their lives, is it really appropriate? And just a general question: is it really appropriate, or should we try to affect that soul journey, because this is their contract that they've taken on prior to coming to us? Now, of course, as a parent, any parent would give their right arm, left kidney, and part of their liver to make sure their kids are better. Okay. But on the other hand, if they have already chosen this, so the question I'd like to pose to all of us, and I don't know what the answer is, sort of, how far do you do this? Okay. How far do you go? Because there might be children or maybe adults who have particular lifestyles that we wouldn't necessarily choose for them, but they have to go through that as part of their learning.
Yes.
Okay. And, I'm sure we've all seen families where there is this sort of thing going on. Mm-hmm. And I don't know where the line is, frankly. I know where as a parent I'd want it to be, but on the other hand, it's their path. So perhaps I could pose this to you, as well as the other members of the panel, to see what they think. Okay.
I'd like to jump in. How I view that is, or would be to just, all you can really do is you set your intention for the highest growth of that soul. If that's your true heart's intention and desire, so you have to have the right intention behind it. Is it to make you feel better, or is it really for their highest growth? And you have to let go and accept what God gives. Whatever is in alignment with the divine will of God is what you can say when you set the intention to help that person. And then you just allow and, set that manifestation into motions, put that out there, but allow what happens. And then you would know, if as things progress, if it didn't turn out the way you expected or was manifesting, then it is for their highest growth. So then you can rest assured in knowing that you did all you could do. You made the prayer, you set the intention and put the power in it. But it's God's choice. Then it really truly was God's will for that to happen. And you can be at peace with that.
Right. Yeah. So I always say, send love to that child. Send lots of love and keep visioning the child how you want them to be, or they have to go through their path. And a lot of them that suffer with anxiety and depression and think that they're going to take their lives, because I've had that with my children too. And I know that they'll come back again and suffer again until they get the right message, that they have the power within to help themselves, to create the life that they want. But they don't realize they have all the power they have within them. They're searching on the physical realm to fulfill something inward. And they're not going to receive that until they get that message. And they will keep getting the message. And, sometimes substances is because they don't want to deal with what's going on. But you have to go through the storm. It's like you have to grit through the pain to get to the glory. And people don't want to do that. They don't want to feel the pain. And I know when I had my 4th stage spondylitis, I was in a lot of pain when I used to get out of bed. Lots of pain. So I know what pain felt like. And I refused to take anything. And, you know, it was the pain that I felt that got me through, because then when there was no more pain, I knew I was getting better. If I subsided the pain, I wouldn't know that I was getting better. Right. So people need to not rely on substances. Oh, I'm going to take a drink. I'm going to take this. I'm going to do this because I'm all deal with it. Just deep breathe, meditate, get connected to your spirit within. You don't need anything. You really don't need anything to have a happy, fulfilled life. You have everything you need within you. And I love to have fun. So, you know, spirit loves to have fun. Just know all your spirits love to have fun. So having fun is the best thing that you could do. Living a life of love and joy, because you're a reflection of the kingdom. And the kingdom is supposed to be, we're supposed to create heaven on earth, you know, thy will be done. And that's what we are here for, to create that. We are the creators. We are the co-creators. And yes, we're given these lives to live, and whatever path we choose, it might not go that way if we're going to head this way. So there's 2 choices, like I said, love and fear. If you're going to live a life in the fear lane, it's going to be a lot different than if you live the life in the love lane. So there's 2 lanes to follow.
Con,
and again, if you didn't follow it right this time, you're going to come back until you get this lane. You're going to keep coming back until you get in this lane. When you get in this lane, it's divine. It's never ending.
Oh,
full of love.
Sorry, I just want to go back to the comments because Kay had a question earlier I had on screen for a while, and I don't know if I read it.
No.
And it was, can you talk about how our children take on karma and sickness and heal for our behalf or for their family? I'm not sure if I'm saying it correctly. Then later she says, maybe Eric can step in and see about the question from his perspective as an archangel. So I think she's wanting maybe Khan to channel Archangel Eric, which is his guide.
Yeah, and this is what Doc was talking about as well, about the karmic debt. And getting back to this. So Eric, what do you want to say on that? Yes, there is the idea of children having karmic debt for the parents. Usually it's mainly at a young age where a child will come into a baby form. They'll have an exit early on where it might be tragic for the parents, but this is also a lesson to be learned or to pay back on that lesson. So for instance, a parent of this realm, they had done something wrong in a past life, possibly an injury to another child, or they were unkind to someone, whatever it might be. And in order to pay back that karmic debt, they would lose a child in this life. Whereas we know that this is really just a blip, a fleeting moment in timeline, because there is no time. But the debt is considered paid when the people get to experience the flip side of the emotion of what they might have caused onto someone else. So yes, karmic debt does definitely exist. And if you think about the sand as it touches the ocean, sometimes you could put a line in the sand, it could be a line in the water, and your karmic debt is very small. Sometimes it could be very deep into the sand, but the water washes it away and it clears it that way. And other times it could be a backhoe that digs a big hole, that hole is then filled with water, and it takes a very long time to fill, to bring the sand level back up to surface. So yes, karmic debt does exist, and it does happen in various fashions, which much goes back to what this one you call Diane speaks of, where we do need to go back to a state of love in order not to have karmic debt in the future. That's the message.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Con. If anyone in the chat has questions for us or Diane, go ahead and post those and we'll put them up. Jade is saying, intention of sending unconditional love and trust, their soul will choose. Intentions are so powerful.
Yeah.
Yes.
Beautifully said, Diane. Thank you from Grace.
Oh, thank
So
you.
true from Karen. Thank you from Kay. Yay, gone.
Yay, Eric.
Yeah.
So can we get back to my mathematical mind, and it goes back to actually processes and how to do this. So you talked about doing intermittent fasting to begin, and you pick an 8-hour window, and during that time you're just drinking water, but then at nighttime you might have a meal. So that
No, it's the opposite. Well, you'll pick 8 hours in between, and well, in the Ramadan, they have the opposite. They'll not eat from sunrise to sunset. So they'll have that window not to eat. Whereas intermittent, they have the eat from like sunrise to sunset. They'll eat.
So
like
morning till, let's say, lunch, and then you skip dinner, and then you sleep. And at that point you're considered.
You cleanse. Yeah. It doesn't matter when you do it. If you choose to not eat during the day and eat, at night, that's fine. Just 8 hours. Just pick your 8 hours to eat, and just your body will, it's just really cleansing for the body, and it'll give your body the right rhythm to stay at a higher vibration. So you need to just, pick that window. Don't keep eating, because what happens is when you eat, digestion takes so much energy. That's the thing. When you eat, it takes so much energy. That's why animals, when they are hurt, they don't eat, because they're healing. So if we just understand that when we don't eat, that's the best time to heal. When people have ailments going on in their bodies, I always suggest don't eat. And they're like, oh, I must eat, I have to eat. But really, you don't have to eat. If you just really try to discipline and become humble and obedient, you will be healed. You will be healed. And like Jesus was called to go into the desert to fast for 40 days. And why? Because when he was done, he was able to heal. He was able to touch people. And we all have that ability inside of us. He said, greater will be the things that you do. We all have the same power within us all. He was a great teacher, master. He was teaching us. We all have that. We're still not getting that message. God sent so many teachers, and we just need to understand what they're all teaching. They're all teaching the same message. Yeah. We all have the power within. Awaken it. Awaken the power within, because we all have that power. And it's just, I want to be that connector. I want to be that person. I know I'm called to be the one that's going to connect everyone to their higher self. And when you find that connection, when you are connected to your higher self, you live in a happier, healthier, more prosperous life. Everything will come to you. It's like a genie in a bottle. But it's, just ask and it is given. You have to be very specific. Ask, pray on it, fast on it. And there's another rule that you need to give. So if you're whatever money or give of your time, you need to be giving, because we live in a universe of a figure eight. You have to give and receive. You can't just be a taker. So there's always got to be some giving out.
Yeah, but it's giving without expecting anything in return.
That's another rule of the universe. You have to be in a figure eight of giving and receiving. And if you're not in that flow, you're going to have kinks and things are not going to flow right. So pay attention. So make sure you're praying, fasting, and giving. They say
the other one that comes to mind is gratitude, having gratitude for what you do have.
Yes. And gratitude in the attitude is so huge. You have to, even if you don't have much, be grateful for the little things you do.
Writing down your little sayings. Gratitude for the wait, what did you say?
Have gratitude in your attitude. Gratitude in the attitude. Like you have to own that. You have to come from gratitude. I say thank you to the Lord all day long. All day. I am so grateful. And it's a father or a mother. You say thank you. And your child says thank you to you. Don't you want to give them more? But if they don't say thank you, you're like, I'm not giving them any more. So the same thing with our Creator. You be grateful and you just enjoy every little gift, like you're opening up gifts all day long. They want to give you more. God wants to give you more. He wants to fulfill all your dreams. We are meant for more. And we need to reflect the abundance of the kingdom. Sometimes many of us live in lack. That is not of the kingdom. When you lacking finances, lacking self-awareness, lacking self-control, change that. We need to have discipline, and we need to have knowing, and we need to have just know what we want. We have to be very specific on what we want. Just have that knowing. And also another thing that makes a big kink, and this is huge, forgiveness. If we do not forgive, it's going to hurt us. It's going to cause blockages in our whole spirit. And you need to, we're given a tribe on this planet. We are each given a tribe, and our tribe, sometimes our siblings, our parents, our children, if things are not right in our tribe, it is going to affect you. So I am saying it is so important to forgive. No matter what they did, it might be horrendous, but we need to find it in our hearts to forgive and let it go. And this way, everything will start flowing, because a lot of people have kinks because they refuse to have forgiveness for that person. Oh, you don't know what they did. You don't know, Yeah, but it's just know that it's metaphysical. So sometimes it's just energy. Don't allow any of that negative energy to block your blessings. So forgiveness is huge. Gratitude is huge. And, just forgiveness is a huge part. So I thank you for bringing all that up, but that is huge for keeping everything flowing. We got to remember the figure 8 whenever
Diana, I have a question.
Sure.
Okay, so if we do the intermittent fasting and you want to go beyond that, but it's like, I'm going to use myself as an example because I haven't I've done an intermittent fasting quite often. Is pretty much how I am. But if I want to go beyond that, and first starting out, would you say like 3 days to start with?
No, one day. Don't go into 3 days.
Like a 24-hour
day. Start out with hours. Like, okay, make the window shorter. So only have a 4-hour window of eating. Go from 8 to 6. I mean, if you have to go from 10 or 12, so start 12 hours of eating, then 10 hours, 8 hours, 6 hours, 4 hours.
Okay.
And then soon you'll be like, wow, I don't need any of this. And just stay in prayer and stay in meditation and try to, you'll get messages. Like I said, you won't know how things will shift for you, but you'll start seeing things that were like, wow, that's unbelievable. But when you're in that, everything's believable. Like, when I see things happen, I'm like, oh,
So how long do you fast for regularly? Or, I don't know if we lost her.
Yeah. A little frozen there. She's in prayer right now. Just give her a moment. The energy is very strong right now.
Yeah, I know.
Well, I would say I kind of wonder what people do, because I know with the juice fasting, and that's really my experience. I've never done the water fasting.
Yeah.
I know Yele did the water fasting, and he had a lot of good experiences with it. Has anyone else done water fasting here?
No.
I've done the intermittent.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know of somebody who did do water fasting and they lost a phenomenal amount of muscle mass. Really quite dramatic.
I was wondering about that.
And I don't know enough about how they reacted, but it was really, I mean, you could see within a day or so them really losing a lot of mass.
Wow.
I mean, I think, personally, I've just done 23-hour fasting, for want of a better word, with 1 hour eating per day, and it really is fine. It's absolutely fine. There's no problems whatsoever. But I think anybody who's diabetic needs to be really careful about this. You could be really, really careful, especially if you're on meds or insulin.
Yeah, I know myself, when I did the juicing, I lost a lot of weight, and I was like 250 pounds at that point. But I mean, that was me working out as well. Like, I was a pretty big muscle bound guy. But when this condition started happening, I couldn't really work out as much, so I gained a lot of weight, or turned more into fat. But once I did the juicing, I got, after 66 days. So I just followed at that point, I followed the instincts. But the juicing that I was doing, at least I was getting nutrients in the body, like Doc's saying, that you had to have the minerals and electrolytes that come to the system. So with juicing, that was a good step up for me, that at least I was getting the nutrients, and it was all about the nutrients. That's all I wanted, was the nutrients. And it's very common for healing serious diseases that you do juicing. And I understand that Chico actually has always said that water fasting just takes it to doing a high vibe. So it's just fruit juice. You can just do lots of fruit, freshly squeezed fruit. That's another level that really peaks you up to a high point. And then water fasting is even beyond that. So I think water fasting would be very difficult to sustain. I mean, if you think about the person that's on the deserted island and they have like whatever water, but what happens to their body and they don't have food, like what happens to that person? So I'd have to think water fasting couldn't be done for a long time.
Yeah. And Chico's fruit juicing discussion, again, diabetics need to be really careful because of all of the risks with certain fruits having a lot of fructose in, and so on. You've got to be really, really careful if you're diabetic.
Well, I wanted to go back to Doc real quick because I have a question. You were talking about how you can lose a lot of muscle really fast, and that typically in the diet world is considered a bad thing. So how do you view that?
Obviously, an individual's body and their understanding of what's normal for them is up to them. But I personally think, if you're losing so much muscle that you're feeling weak, you can't walk, and you're not steady on your legs, then that's perhaps a bit too much. The body also has this really quite remarkable way of picking out which areas of fat to get rid of. And so the person in question, who I know, who went on these things, said that she lost all the fat in the wrong places. Now, I hesitate to say where that was because she's a lady, but I think you can guess where it was. And so for her, it was a big shock when things changed in the way that she didn't expect. So everyone's different, but from a very selfish point of view, I just think stopping people from falling over is a pretty important thing. And if you're so weak that you haven't got enough muscle to handle your posture, then that might be too much. On a slightly different tack, insulin receptors on the muscles are really important, and having some muscle mass is really, really quite key. But if I might be wrong, but I have a vague recollection of when you do fast, you actually increase the number of insulin receptors, or you change the threshold of which they work. So there's a little bit of something else going on there. And I would be very keen that if anybody did this, especially if they're diabetic, they ought to just check and just monitor their blood glucose very, very carefully.
Yeah, and as you were speaking, I was getting kind of a download or message, just kind of a reminder. I think Diana might have mentioned this like early on, but just to set an intention as to the purpose for your fast, what you want to accomplish through that, and then follow your intuitive guidance when that is healed, or as far as like when you feel you're ready to stop or integrate food back into your diet. So yeah. let your guides help you with that.
Yeah, I agree. I do agree.
Because I know when I did the juice fasting, like even now I have no desire to do a fast like that again. It was great. My body, I felt great. I looked good. I had so many people coming up to me that would say, like, your skin looks amazing. You are glowing. You look so good. And this was before I was awoken. So it made a big difference within me. But I primarily had vegetable juice. So it was freshly squeezed vegetables with a little bit of fruit in there. So it wasn't all high fructose, very high. It was very nutrient dense. And that was the purpose behind it, getting all the nutrients in there. And I felt great, but I could see we got to be a little bit careful about it too. Oh, here's Diana back.
Boy, I don't know what happened.
Yeah, I was wondering about, Doc, about electrolytes, and if somebody's in a very warm climate and they sweat a lot, and they're only drinking water. I know I've struggled in the summer with that, not having electrolytes in the water was a problem.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree, especially if you're perspiring a lot. You know how athletes need to bring in more electrolytes, and so I think William's pinch of rock salt in a
I was just gonna say, I was gonna just say that sea salt. I put some sea salt in my water. If I'm doing a longer fast than a day, I'll add some sea salt.
So Diana, I'm guessing there's got to be a difference between, let's say, tap water compared to reverse osmosis water, or even the hydrolyzed water that you're like. There really is a difference between quality between all that too.
Yes. Well, the ionized alkaline water vibrates at 450 to 750, so that's a very high vibration. Distilled water, what happens when you're distilling water, you're taking all the stuff out of it, and it becomes like a clean water, and it's not really high vibrational. So, and then I guess when you add the sea salt into or any electrolytes into it, it becomes a little better. But I just really am for Kangen water, ionized alkaline water, because it just really brings up that higher vibration. And just to be at that higher vibration to start with is amazing. And then when you do everything else, it's just a real huge part that I feel is beneficial.
Does that water have minerals? Sorry, Rachel.
It's okay.
Does that water have minerals added to it?
Well, you're taking the regular tap water, so it has stuff in it, and then it goes through a carbon filter, it cleans it, and then what it does, it goes through platinum plates, so it ionizes it with energy, with the electricity, and then it splits the water. So you're taking regular H2O, and then it splits it to negative OH and positive H. So the negative OH is a high ionized water, so it's high energy. And to me, when you drink that water, you could feel a difference. When I go traveling, I always got to hunt it down because it makes it such a difference. And then the other water that comes out the bottom, that's called beauty water. So that's water that you could use on your skin or your hair. So it's two different waters that actually come out of the one machine from the tap water. So to me, it's like having a pharmacy in your home. And I've had mine for 11 years, and I just feel like everyone should have it. It would really help, because sickness lives in a low vibrational energy. Cancer grows when your pH is 5.5 and under. So it's all about keeping the atmosphere of your body balanced. The key is balance. You don't want to be too alkaline, and you don't want to be too acidic. And disease stays in an acidic body. And autoimmune disease happens in an acidic, low vibrational. And you could be eating and drinking the right stuff, and stuff still could happen, because stress is the number one problem. You know, stressful lives, just stuff going on. We could be eating, drinking, doing everything perfect, and things could happen just because of stress. Stress from our children, stress from jobs, stress from our loved ones. So that's why we have to know how to ease that stress. Come from life is easy, and try to bring it down and not have so much worry. Stay more at peace. Like I said, it's a learned way of being. It doesn't just happen, okay, I'm going to be this. It takes time to be it. You have to own it and be it.
Yeah.
Not think that it's so far away. You have to become it.
That's definitely our life. Rachel, you were asking, you had a question that we cut you off a million times.
Yeah, just because earlier there were some comments about putting crystals in your water to charge it. Also, I was going to ask about moon water. It's a full moon today. Maybe you can charge. I've heard of charging your water under the full moon, and even in the sun. I don't know if that's really helpful or not either, but that was something my husband thought of. He was like, maybe I should charge water in the sun.
I'm sure.
What your thoughts are on that? Yeah.
No, I'm sure they all worked really good with the crystals and stuff. And I mean, I personally don't use all those things, but I know they have vibration. So like I said, we are vibrational. And if we could find a way to keep everything high vibration, then so be it, and do it. To me, that's the easiest way for me. If I'm always in going here, going there, just go into that water and just get my water and go fresh from the tap. And, for me, it's easy. If you want
another thought that just popped in. It might be from Metatron, because he's been showing me to do this, and I haven't done it yet. So, it's to put high vibrational messages on your water bottle or images. So he's been wanting me to put like a Metatron's cube or
that's funny that you say that
on my water bottle, and I haven't gotten those yet, but I will.
That's Dr. Amato did that experiment. Love and fear, or love and hate. He did an experiment, love and hate. So the two bottles, that one had love, one had hate. After a week or so, the bottle with the love on it was still crystallized, beautiful. The one with the hate on it was all ugly and dirty. So that's why words are so powerful. And that's why I wrote that in my book, like words. We are like water. So you have to understand, we are like those two jars. The more we're speaking about hate and about people, like even gossip, that's of a low vibration. Don't waste your energy on speaking about anybody else. Do not. It brings down your vibration. Do not waste your energy out of your mouth. Speak only good things. It's all normal for us to speak something, but try to keep it at a bare minimum, and that's why, like, love, like, we are that. So picture yourself as that bottle, and picture just putting love on you and staying encapsulated in a love bubble. and things will start to shift for you. The words. Pay attention to the words you're speaking. Pay attention.
This also goes to what you're not saying, because in that experiment, Dr. Masaru Emoto had a third bottle, a placebo bottle that had nothing. It had no words and didn't say anything to that water. And that turned very ugly black as well.
No, you need to love it. You need to speak love. They say children that don't have love spoken to them or touch. That's why oxytocin is like a high love vibration, and hugging and touching is so important. That's why what they're doing to our society today is not right, because we need to hug, we need to touch, and we can't have that fear of what that sickness is going to do, because it doesn't exist in the realm. Just stay, that everything's going to be fine. You can't give any energy to that virus. You cannot. If you give energy to it, guess what? You're going to receive it. And I've seen that many times. People that talk about it, worry about it, guess what? They're getting sick. So cancel that. So what you put your energy on, you receive. That's why I can't stress enough. If you don't want it, don't talk about it. If you don't want it to happen, don't speak about it.
I think this really goes back to the energy of our doctors and nurses too, because we know there's lots of doctors and nurses that are really coming from a loving place. We got one right here, and we know Doc is, he had to do what he had to do, but when you do it from a state of love and kindness and appreciation, it really does change everything about the patient's healing. So the words, the energy that's put behind it, the compassion that's put behind it. And I think we definitely don't want to forget about our doctors.
Oh no, they're great.
You know, we need our doctors, and we need Doc. And if it wasn't for loving, kind doctors like Doc, we can see the blushing behind the beard. Right?
Well, no, absolutely. There are so many, but unfortunately, society, you know, it's the pharmaceuticals that teach a lot of the doctors. So they have a different agenda, you know. So you know, there's people that come from a loving heart, and then there's different agendas that from outside that are not from the inside. And you know, we have to just, when you're coming from the heart, everything works out. So yes, doctors that work from the heart, everything flows for them. It's just
you need to understand our training is around pathogenesis, which is around the diseases or diseases. And there is a school of thought which is called salutogenesis, which is about promoting health. And you've seen in recent events where there's been a huge emphasis on the pathogen and the treatment of the pathogen, and relatively little on promoting good health. And I think that's the narrative which we will see more of. And this discussion and many, many others are going in that direction as time goes by.
That's a blessing. Yeah. Like Hippocrates said, we are our own doctors within, you know? So let be our medicine. Let food be our medicine. And so we have everything we need within ourselves. That's why it's so important to awaken the power within us.
Love it. Look at the time.
Awesome.
An hour and a half.
That's so fast.
By, right?
Yeah.
And I did it. Yay.
Yay.
And I'm so honored and blessed to be on this show and with this group. And, we have a lot of work in this world to be the love and the light and to help this world shine bright. And
thank you, Diana.
Thank you, Diana.
Thank you so much.
Jenny, over to you to take us out for the day.
Great. We just want to thank everybody for coming today.
Well, thank you. You want me to pray us out?
No. It's all good. Stick around. We're here. Don't leave the show. We're not finished yet. We're still live.
It's so cute. Bless us out.
Make sure that you like and subscribe the channel, and you can check below for all our contact information. Next week, we have Rita back. She's going to be talking about building natural immunity. And Christy, what's up for you next week or this coming up week?
Well, I hadn't really planned anything. I might do another meditation because I just done the one. So I'm going to try to do another one. And it's a full moon. So it's a good night. It's a good day to do a full moon meditation. So I may do that.
Meditation.
I like doing these when something happens, if there's an event or something. So the full moon is a great opportunity. So maybe we'll do a full moon meditation today. So.
Sounds awesome. Rachel, and you?
No events coming up in the next week or two. Eventually we Con and I have a plan though to start some live practice sessions, like practice sensing energy and expanding our intuitive abilities on my private Facebook group page. And I think that's scheduled to start on March 2nd or 3rd, but don't quote me on that. I'll have to check the schedule. It's a Thursday in March, the first Thursday in March. But I haven't set the event for that. So I'm just kind of putting that out there. If you haven't joined my private group, please do. And then for me, it's just my YouTube channel right now. I've been posting a lot of videos on there, so please subscribe to that. And then, and then I do one-on-one coaching, intuitive coaching work. So I like to help people learn how to channel. I like to work with them and their guides and helping them align with their higher self and purpose and manifestation powers. So if you're interested in that, let me know. And nope, I'm all good. How about you, Con?
Well, this Friday we've got Channeling Eric to provide intuitive guidance for anyone who is interested. Come join your questions. That'll be at 12 noon Eastern Standard Time. I tend to go through all the names, all the messages. Whoever comes up, I'm going to go through the whole thing because it is just high vibe energy. So as long as I got time, I'll be going through everyone. So I'm excited about that. And of course, I've been doing a freedom meditation twice a week, and that is in a private Zoom session. And the next one is tomorrow. And let me see what time that's going to be. I believe that is going to be at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And that is giving out those high vibes, good feeling to the world. So we're doing that twice a week, at least for the month of February, or until the world kind of settles back down again. So we're going to be doing that. And so that's what's going on with me. I do quickly want to say for Diana, if anyone is interested, we want to, here's her website, Feel Great with Water. Diana, is that up and running right now?
Yes. That's the website for the water. So you can watch videos and see the water. What I really want to do is create a Facebook group, Fasting for Love of our loved ones, love for the planet. So I want to create that. And I did create it. So I just don't know how to invite people to it, or I just have to get it going. And I would like to have like weekly stuff going on there. So that's up and coming.
And when you do get that ready, will you put it on the Feel Great with Water website?
That's definitely a different. Feel Great with Water is the Kangen Water website. So that's a different entity. It's not really my site, but I do have a website, fastingforlove.org. That is going to be the website. So I did create something like that. I don't know if it's up. I have to still create it. So fastingforlove.org. I got that from GoDaddy. So it's all in the works. Just being guided. And I know this is my sole purpose, and it's a huge thing, and it's going to really raise up the vibration.
Con, I just have a question. The session that you're doing tomorrow, Friday, is it on the link on your page?
Go to my private Facebook page, not my private, my public Facebook page. So just look for Con Night. It's public, and there will be a link there to it's the same Zoom link. If you get the Zoom link, it's the same one, and just join. That's going to be the same one for the next couple of weeks.
Okay.
Yeah, if not longer. Okay. Yeah, it'll be the same one.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, we haven't got any door crashers, party crashers yet, so it's all good. we welcome everyone to join in and just contribute your energy. Make it your own. Yeah.
Awesome. Doc, do you have anything coming up?
I'll be almost certainly posting my first video onto my YouTube thing, but what I have to say is it's just incredibly wonderful to have a plug for a website about water. You couldn't get it any better, could you?
Well, it's all connected, right? I mean,
absolutely. Yeah. No, that's all. One thing which the diabetics might want to look at is there's a thing which I've been twigged onto through a channel about cold water induction of mitochondria. Mitochondria are the little energy packs in your body, in your muscles, that chew up, amongst other things, sugars. And there's a sort of a body of evidence around this about how by immersing yourself or stimulating your body with cold water actually gives your mitochondria a boost. Yes. You might want to look into this because it brings sort of true with people like Wim Hof and people like that. But that's just a little something to look at and check for yourself. Okay.
Another thing to add to that, have an Epsom salt bath, and that also brings up. Mm-hmm. So Epsom salt baths are great too.
Indeed, yeah. Mm-hmm. That's it. Thank you.
And I just want to say that this week I will be launching my YouTube.
Woohoo!
And I just wanted to put that out there. There'll be more information at the bottom on that too.
Great.
Excellent. And from Diana, she's thanking all of us. Thank you, Diana. And the name of her book is How to Awaken the Power Within. And
within you. Did I write within you?
Within you. Within. Okay.
Oh, I wrote just within. No, awaken the power within you. Sorry.
Within you.
Yes. It's on Amazon. It's only $9.99. Keep it very low. And I want to try to get it on Audibles. That is my purpose. I have to get that done. Got to get it on Audibles this month.
Right.
Well, thanks, everybody.
Yes.
Love you lots. Thanks for joining.
Love you.
Love you.
Bye.